Hi guys, it's time for Skippy John Jones by Judy Schnashmanashner. Every morning Skippy John Jones woke up with the birds. And this did not please his mother at all. "Get yourself down here right now, Mr. Kitten Britches," ordered Mama Junebug Jones. "No self-respecting cat ever slept with a flock of birds," she scolded, "or ate worms, or flew, or did his laundry in Mrs. Doohiggy's bird bath." The lecture went on and on as usual. "You've got to do some serious thinking before you leave this room, Mr. Fuzzy Pants," said his mother, "about just what it means to be a cat, not a bird, not a mouse or a grouse, not a moose or a goose or a rat or a bat. You need to think about just what it means to be a Siamese cat." "And stay out of your closet," she had to turn it off. I hate you.
I need a...
Hey kids, it's time for reading with Daddy again. Skippy John Jones by Judy Schnashmanashner. Every morning Skippy John Jones woke up with the birds. And this did not please his mother at all. "Get yourself down here now, Mr. Kitchen Bridge."
I didn't even laugh. I didn't even laugh.
Hi kids, time for reading with Daddy. First one we're going to do is Skippy John Jones by Judy Schnashmanashner. Every morning Skippy John woke up with the birds. And this did not please his mother at all. "Get yourself down here right now, Mr. Kitten Britches," ordered Mama Junebug Jones. "No self-respecting cat ever slept with a flock of birds," she scolded, "or ate worms, or flew, or did his laundry in Mrs. Doohiggy's bird bath." The lecture went on and on as usual. "You've got to do some serious thinking before you leave this room, Mr. Fuzzy Pants," said his mother, "about just what it means to be a cat, not a bird, not a mouse or a grouse, not a moose or a goose, not a rat or a bat. You need to think about just what it means to be a Siamese cat. And stay out of your closet," she added, closing the bedroom door. But once he was alone, Skippy John Jones began to bounce and bounce and bounce on his big boy bed. "Oh, I'm Skippy John Jones, and I bounce on my bed. And once or 6 times I land on my head." On his way down to earth from a gigantic big bounce, Skippy John shot past his bedroom mirror. "Holy guacamole!" exclaimed Skippy John Jones. "What was that?" So up he went again, and again it appeared. Then, using his very best Spanish accent, he said, "My ears are too big for my head. My head is too big for my body. I am not a Siamese cat, I am a Chihuahua." Back on land, Skippy John Jones climbed into his toy box and rifled through some of his old junk. After he put on his mask and sword and climbed onto his mouse, Skippy John began to sing in a muy soft voice. "My name is Skipito Frisquito. I fear not a single bandito. My manners are mellow, I'm sweet like the jello. I get the job done, yes indeedo." Back in the kitchen, Juju Bee, Jezebel, and Jilly Boo Jones were helping Mama Junebug Jones make lunch. "Can Skippy John come out of his room now?" asked Juju Bee. "No," answered Mama Junebug Jones. "Mr. Fluffernutter is still thinking." In fact, Skippy John wasn't thinking about being a Siamese cat at all. With a walk into the closet, his thoughts took him down a lonesome desert road far away in old Mexico. Not long into his journey, a mysterioso band of Chihuahuas appeared out of the dust. "Ay caramba, who goes there?" asked Skippy John Jones. "We go by the name Los Chimichangos," growled Don Diego, the biggest of the small ones. "Who are you?" "I am El Skipito, the great sword fighter," said Skippy John Jones. Then the smallest of the small ones spoke up. "Why the mosquito, dude?" asked Paquito Tito. "I go incognito," said Skipito. "Do you like rice and beans?" asked Pinto Linto. "Si, I love mice and beans," said Skipito. "He might be the dog of our dreams," whispered Rosalita. "Perhaps," said Tia Mia, "if he knows the secret password." Leaning forward, Don Diego, El Skipito half sneezed, half spoke the secret password in the Chihuahua's very large ear. "Achoo Pichu!" "Bless you," said Don Diego. "Gracias," said Skipito. "Then it's true," decreed Don Diego. "Yippee, yippee, yippito! It's the end of Alfredo Bizito. Skipito is here, we have nothing to fear. Adios to the bad Bumblebito." Then all the chimichangos went crazy loco. First they had a fiesta, then they took a siesta. But after waking up, the Chimichangos got down to serious business. Using his paw, Don Diego drew a picture in the sand of the great Bumblebeetle for Scipito to see. A hush grew over the Chimichangos so great that one could hear a whisker drop. "A frito pesito," whispered the crowd. "El blimpo Bumblebeetle bandito." "Sí," said Poquito Tito. "The bandito steals our frijoles." "Not your beans," cried Scipito. "Sí," Poquito continued. "Red beans, black beans, Boston baked and blue. Cocoa, coffee, kidney beans, pinto, and jelly too." "And now it comes for us," Poquito added. "Por qué?" asked Scipito. "Because we are full of the beans too." Then Don Diego stood tall and in his most somber voice declared, "Yo quiero frijoles." "Huh?" asked Scipito. "The dude just wants his beans back," said Poquito Tito. "And you are the dog for the job." "Me?" asked Scipito. Then all the Chimichangos turned towards Scipito, the great sword fighter. But poor Scipito had no time for a plan, because in a blink of an eye a gigantic shadow darkened the landscape. The Chimichangos scattered in all directions. "Vamos, Scipito, or it is you the bandito Uito," they cried. Scipito stood his ground, but his legs shimmied and shook like the jello, and his teeth chattered like castanets. Then in a muy soft voice he said, "My name is Scipito Frisquito. I fear not a single bandito." But Alfredo Bazito flew straight for Scipito until the bean-eating bandito hovered only inches away from the great sword fighter's face. "Holy frijoles!" cried Scipito as he thrust his sword in the air. Suddenly, pop! Went the bandito, landing on Scipito's sword, and quicker than anyone could say Chihuahua's cheese and crackers, every kind of bean came spilling out of Alfredo Bazito, the Bumblebeetle bandito. And then all the doggies burst into song. "Yippee, yippee, yippito! Our hero is El Scipito. He's the dog of our dreams. He delivered the beans, and now we can make our burritos." But back at home, there was such a ruckus coming from Skippy John's room that Mama Junebug Jones and the girls just had to find out what was going on. They raced down to the hall of the Kitty Boy's room. "Banquito, Crashito, Papito, Scipito!" just in time to see Skippy John's closet exploding. Then out flew Candy, Beanbag, Doggies, and the Kitty Boy with his birthday piñata on his head. "Skippy John Jones!" everyone cried. "Hola, muchachitas!" he said in a muy soft voice. Mama Junebug Jones lifted up Skippy John and covered his head with purry kisses. "What am I going to do with you, Mr. Cocoa Pugs?" she scolded. That night, when she was supposed to be going to sleep, Skippy Johns began to bounce and bounce on his big boy bed. "Oh, I'm Skippy John Jones with a mind of my own, and I bounce on my bed for hours. I know I'm a cat, but forget about that. Say goodnight, Skippy John Jones," called his mama. "Buenas noches, mis amigos," said Skippy John Jones. And that's Skippy John. Love you. Alright, Tyler, this is a book you picked. Trucks by Byron Barton. On the road, here come the trucks. They come through tunnels. They go over the bridge. Here comes the bread truck with bread for the store. Here is a truck being loaded with garbage. Ew. Here comes a truck bringing the newspapers. Here's a bucket truck to help fix the lights. This is a tank truck delivering oil. Here comes a tow truck towing a car. Here's a moving truck bringing the furniture. This truck brings the dogs and ice cream and soda. Here's a dump truck hauling dirt. This is a cement truck mixing cement. Here's a truck working all night long. Trucks on the road, they work hard. That's it. Love you, Tyler. Hey, Peyton. It's The Snowy Day by Ezra Jack Keats. One winter morning, Peter woke up and looked out the window. Snow had fallen during the night and covered everything as far as he could see. After breakfast, he put on his snowsuit and ran outside. The snow was piled up very high along the street to make a path for walking. Crunch, 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 his feet sank into the snow. He walked with his toes pointing out like this. He walked with his toes pointing in like that. Then he dragged his feet slowly to make tracks, and he found something sticking out of the snow that made a new track. It was a stick that was just right for smacking a snow-covered tree. Down fell the snow, plop, on the top of Peter's head. He thought it would be fun to join the big boys in their snowball fight, but he knew he wasn't old enough. Not yet. So he made a smiling snowman, and he made angels. He pretended he was a mountain climber. He climbed up a great big tall heaping mountain of snow and slid all the way down. He picked up a handful of snow and another and still another. He packed it round and firm, put the snowball in his pocket for tomorrow. Then he went into his warm house. He told his mother about all the adventures while he took off his wet socks. And he thought and thought and thought about them. Before he got into bed, he looked into his pocket. His pocket was empty. The snowball wasn't there, and he felt very sad. While he slept, he dreamed that the sun had melted all the snow away. But when he woke up, his dream was gone. The snow was still everywhere, and new snow was falling. After breakfast, he called to his friend from across the hall and went out together into the deep, deep snow. That's it, Peyton. Snow day. I love you. All right, Brooke. Never Take a Shark to the Dentist by Judy Barrett. Never take a shark to the dentist. Never sit next to a porcupine on the subway. Ouch. Never go shopping for shoes with a centipede. Never knit a hat for a moose. I have to tell Mommy that. Never invite an ant to a picnic. Never take a giraffe to the movies. Oh my goodness, this page is big. Look at that. Never play checkers with a spider. Never share your lunch with a pig or your daddy, because he'll eat it all. Never play double dutch with a grasshopper. Never hold hands with a lobster. Never take a goat with you to the library. Never give a moth a sweater for her birthday. Never go to the bank with a raccoon. But always go shopping with a pelican. That's all she wrote. Love you, Brooke.